Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel, and this is the review show. There wasn't a round of championship games, but we will review the Carabao Cup games through the prism of the championship teams. If you are watching, let me know that you can see me and you can hear me okay. Say hello with a comment, and we will get into all of the action. We'll go through every championship team, and you can let me know how your team played indeed and what you think. For the first time, and I am very, very happy to announce just this. This broadcast is brought to you by a fan sponsor. We are now having fan sponsors on the channel. So this is brought to you by Russ Peake, a fan and now a friend, despite Ben's terrible taste in football teams. You can see Russ is a Norwich fan, but he is sponsoring the review shows for the year. So we thank Russ greatly. Hello in the chat to Lee and to Matthew and George, Wheelock Young Team, Jez, Giant Chicken, Iain as well. Deleclipse Link. We'll do some questions in a bit. We'll go through these games and whatnot. So get your thoughts in as we go through, and hopefully we can get a little bit of insight from you guys on what's what. Let's start with Borough. So Borough was Friday night. They beat Shrewsbury 4-3. If you look down at that lineup, pretty strong looking team, I think you'll say. Nice to see Howson actually back into centre midfield after all of this time. And I suspect that's what we're going to see from Warnock, this shape, this type system. Grant Hall obviously joining in as centre half. Goals indeed for Johnson, Fletcher, Tavernier, 2 for Fletcher. Indeed. So decent start for Borough. They get the win over Shrewsbury. Evening to Mally in the chat as well. Derby. Now, we did Derby in the watch along, didn't we? So I've already done 2 hours on this 0-0 draw that sadly went to penalties, which wasn't the most entertaining. Koku going with a 3 at the back. Also, no Rooney missing there for Derby. No Tom Lawrence either. First look at Tiveric, the centre half. He was good. Bird played a decent game as well in central midfield in Rooney's absence as well. Some sense that Derby weren't quite at it, a little bit pre-season friendly in that kind of regard. What I will do quickly is I'll just flash up the poll that we did over on the YouTube post as well. So I put the poll up earlier. 48% said that their team had a good run out and tactical practice. 24% thought it was a glorified preseason game. 20% a negative look into what might happen this season. And 9% said none of the above. We'll always get some none of the above type stuff, won't we? Let's move on real quick. Let me just take a question because I did see one about Bogle there. Lee asks, any thought on Bogle and Lowe being absent due to be confirmed today for the Blade? Yes, they were absent because they were leaving. Where they end up is another matter, but I think it's nearly gone through. Lee says it's just been confirmed. There we go. Breaking news indeed. Right, let's skip along to the next one. Another quite hard work to watch, apparently. I didn't watch this one. I went off to work, but we still get some idea. You can see there Deli Bashiro making a debut there in central midfield. If Kadeem Harris was really playing wing-back, that would be interesting. Izzy Brown as well, and Adam Reach, the front two. It does really look like Wednesday need to fix in on who they're going to play up top. Obviously, though, Elias Kuchunga has come in that area as well. Wednesday winning on penalties there, winning that one 4-2. So some idea. A few 3 at the backs. It might be the season of 3-5-2, I wonder, this season. Indeed, there's another one. Barnsley 1, Forest 0. Who scored the goal? Cauley Woodrow. Always good for your striker. I say striker. Look, they've got him in the number 10 position there. And he did play there a fair amount last season. So always good for one of your chief goal scorers to get off to a good start there. Looking forward to Barnsley this season. And they seem to have held on to a lot of people. I questioned, would Chaplin still be there? Woodrow, Mowat. Look, they're all still there. Will they be there at the end of the window? I wonder indeed. Forest, well, very Lamucci looking 4-1-4-1, but a strong team. No Lyle Taylor in there, but otherwise, João Carvalho gets a go. Tyler Blackett gets a go as well, new starter there. So they will be slightly disappointed, I would have thought, with that one. Now, let's go to your comments here. Lee says, listen to it on Radio Wednesday. Sounded very poor. Hull only had to get through one round and they were already in their cup final. Who did Hull get, Callum, I wonder? Hey? A proper snooze fest, says Jez Giant Chicken. Matthew, Ben, your worst nightmare is about to happen. The championship table predictions. Yes, we're going to be doing that on Wednesday, indeed. Right, let's move on and get through the rest of these games, and then we can do some Q&A. Sky's favourites there, Salford winning through on penalties against Paul Warren's Rotherham. We wondered whether we would get a keeper battle here at Rotherham between Blackman and Johansson. Blackman gets the start in this one, and a strong-looking Rotherham team goes out to Salford. Again, I wonder whether it was treated like a pre-season friendly. Wes Harding, you can see there, making a debut as well. Kieran Sadler, I think he's a new signing also. So I wonder how many of these teams will see it as a good workout and pleased to get knocked out, if you get my drift. Plymouth 3, QPR 2. Rangers took the lead there through Ryan Manning, but they were behind by the 55th minute. Kakai equalised, and then Frank Noble, no less. We had him at Ipswich, didn't we? He gets the winning goal. I know they lost, but I quite like the look of that QPR team actually taking shape now. Masterson and Dickey now should be able to play out from the back. Tom Carroll sliding into central midfield. Luke Amos a little bit more advanced. Chair is now looking at being the chief creative guy. Otte is playing up front there. Lyndon Dykes will hold that position. But it looks like Warburton's getting a Warburton-like team sort of going there, isn't it? So, Alistair, as a Reading fan, I was not impressed with Derby, but you know they will turn up on Saturday. Yes, indeed. Charles, strange Derby sold those 2 defenders in such a low fee as well. Apparently that's just gone through, so I'll need to have a look at that. Hi to Cods Vlogs. Sorry I'm not seeing you later, my friend, but next week. Ben, what can you tell me about Flynn Downs as Palace are linked with him? He's very good, but you'll probably loan him back down to the Championship, I would have thought. And Lee says, to be honest, for some of the Championship clubs with a smaller squad, not a bad thing. Yeah, absolutely. 1 to 24s on Wednesday. Everyone seems to want them. It's good. It's nice that people want them. What I've tried to do is not think about it. I haven't looked at anybody else's 1 to 21s. I'll look at Gab's. I'll look at Ben HD, Gab from Football Lab, and I'll listen to not the top 21s, but not before I do mine. I don't want to be influenced in any way, shape, form, or fashion. There is Millwall. So it's Crawley 1, Millwall 3. Looking very much like the team shape and a lot of the personnel from last season, that type of 3-4-3 system, although no Jed Wallace in there. And as I actually predicted on the Lions TV show, Murray Wallace, now Scott Malone's there, may have a chance to move into centre-half position. We'll see what happens to him, because he was playing left wing-back, so Malone kind of re-debuts there. So does Ryan Woods, having signed on loan again. Interesting if Ryan Leonard was playing on the right, so right wing back sort of type position. But nice job for Millwall there, and Malone gets a goal. Tunnicliffe scores as well. That must be an own goal, mustn't it? And Matt Smith gets off the mark. I wonder how many goals Matt Smith will get for Millwall this season. Let's have a look here. Hi to Macam Blue. Evening to Daz. Ryan says, you're not on the FVP tonight, Ben. Was looking forward to your input as I am the others. My missus has been at work all day and I'm doing this stream, so I'm going to take a week off, but I will be back next week. Do not worry. Can we have the championship table predictions live stream? I don't think so, Matt. I think it'll get hijacked if that happens, and I'll get my mind swayed. So I will say no to that, but only because I'm not brave enough. Right, Bristol City. So first competitive game under Dean Holden. What is that system? A 3-1-4-2, really? I'll believe that when I see it. All very Bielsa, isn't it? Taylor Moore in there, Viner. Mawson's obviously gone in at Bristol City since then. Hanno Masenga as a deep line playmaker, do you think? Andy Vyman in central midfield. I'm doubting that shape, if anyone's got any insight on how Bristol City did actually look. But see if they can build the team out. There seems to be a couple of number 10s and a couple of number 9s in there that could be open in the championship. It was enough to get past Exeter, though. Jamie Patterson and Antoine Semenyo, who didn't start that game with the goals. You can see, as we thought, Wells and Jeju, the strikers, although Chris Martin is in there, and do not underestimate Chris Martin playing his way into that team. Stan wasn't too disappointed with Norwich's result. Yeah, look, pre-season friendly here. Don't expect these results to have too much influence in too many places there. Tommy Rowe as a centre back, really. I heard that could be happening. But Mawson is in now. Definitely do need a few more bodies in there at Bristol City, or a few to clear from injury. Nathan Baker, Thomas Kalash could have a good back three in the end. Birmingham 0, Cambridge 1. Strange one there. Look at the stats there. 10 shots to 4. 2 shots on target for Cambridge. They get the win anyway. Robbie Cundy with the goal. But we're more interested in how Birmingham lined up. We knew full well it'd be a 4-2-3-1 because it's Karanka. Debut for Prieto in goal. Colin Dean, friend as a centre-back rather than left-back. Christian Pedersen, good left-back for Birmingham. Sonic and Kieftenbeld back. Missing for pretty much all of last season, wasn't he? Bella, Crowley, Lakin, George up top. You'd think that obviously ends up being Jutkovic. So some idea there, probably quite close to the first team. Remember, Karanka has signed about 5 or 6 players thus far, hasn't he? So Naki Wells should have a good season. Yeah, I suspect he would. All Things Leeds TV. Hi, Ben. Hello, all Leeds TV. Thank you for joining us. You'll be pleased you're not involved in these shenanigans this season. Right, Luton 3, Norwich 1. As I think Stan pointed out, Norwich without a lot of players, but you can see the sheer strength of Norwich's squad, because that's still a pretty damn good team there. Luton go pretty much first team with this. A lot of first team players in there. 3-1 to Luton, and James Collins starting the season in the best way possible. If you're a striker, he scores a hat trick. That's a strong looking Luton team. I'm interested in the shape as well, because Jones has traditionally been a 4-4-2 diamond guy. Reece Norrington Davis there coming in at left back, and really 3 strikers there. I wonder whether Elliot Lee was actually in the 10 position though. Not as an auxiliary forward. Norwich give Hugel a debut. They give Mumba a debut. Dowell gets on the score sheet for the Canaries. And Sam McCullum, that would be his debut as well. Daniel Barden, I've not heard of him. But I wouldn't be too worried were I a Norwich fan, put it that way. Really, really good squad in there. Birmingham could be a dark horse. Wes Hoolahan starting for Cambridge. Wes Hoolahan just when you thought you'd seen the back of him, still there. Who's better, Wales or England? England at football. Ben laughing his head off at Norwich. Absolutely not. The laugh will be on the other side of my face because I think they're going to go rather well this season. So, no, big style there. Hi to Elizabeth. I off, Ben. I going to watch the Ireland and Scotland game. Enjoy. Mumba really impressed. Well, that'd be interesting because whether Max Aaron stays or goes there, maybe Byram's still ahead of him there. But surprised Collins not signed by someone. 10-goal a season player at least. Perhaps. He gets it's the right club and the right system to exploit Collins, isn't it? At Luton there with 2 up top and pretty intensive there. Swansea go under 2-0. Now, I don't know what SofaScore are going with there because that system looks not very likely, to be honest. You've got Matt Grimes as number 10. You've got Jamal Lowe up top when he's a winger. You've got Corey Smith, a central midfielder at centre-back. Wayne Routledge at wing-back. So if anyone can smarten us up on how Swansea actually looked. But what we do know is that is a strong team. Nice to see Rodden back. He missed vast swathes of last season. Injured, obviously, no Van der Horn anymore for the Swans. And lots of rumours linking Grimes away. They lose this game against Newport. Abrahams with both goals there. Are they happy to be out? Still recorded 10 shots, 6 off target, 64% possession as well. So, hey, if they were treating it like a friendly, then there you go. Let's have a look here. Ben, we are going to beat Denmark tomorrow. Well, we're going to do it without Mr. Foden. And who was the other chap that's been sent home? Undisclosed fees for Bogle. Oh, not more undisclosedly. Rumours go from 8 million to 15 million. I heard it was 12 million for Bogle and 2 to 3 million for Lowe, is what I've heard. That may or may not be right. The rumours are, the fees are undisclosed. So, Ben, please don't put Norwich. Well, I'll work on it on Wednesday. We'll see. We'll see how I feel on Wednesday, indeed. Right, who's next? Not many to go, actually. Northampton 3, Cardiff 0. So Neil Harris, presumably not overly interested in this one, let's just say. But strong team as well. Sol Bamba, we didn't see him pretty much at all last season, did we? A Bamba and Morrison central defensive partnership that got them promoted in 17-18, didn't it? If you look at that Cardiff squad, it is still strong, isn't it? Geordie Osei Tutu, I've been interested in him. If they are playing him wide a little bit further forward, that would interest me greatly because I was expecting him to be playing fullback there. Strong squad, but 3-0 defeat there. Smith, Warburton, Watson with the goals there. So I'm wondering if it did indeed get the pre-season friendly tribute. Was it Mason? Yeah, it was Mason Greenwood, Elizabeth, yeah, wasn't it? Any transfer, Ipswich transfer news yet? We're just waiting for, well, they've done their business in. We're just waiting for Flynn Downs to go out now, aren't we? What do I think of the Greenwood and Foden incident? I'll finish these games and I'll tell you what I think. Talk about the Ipswich v Rovers game. I will. At the end, we'll do some questions in just a bit, guys. Keep them coming. I'll scroll back up and we'll have a look. We've got 7 more games to do here in this list. And another forward, like James Collins, who had a brilliant start to the season, was Lucas João with the perfect hat-trick there. 3-1 for Reading against Colchester United. João, as I say, with all 3 goals. They did go behind to a Giovanni Brown goal. And this would be Valko Paunovic's first game there. Not familiar with Ethan Bristow or particularly Philippe Aranya, the 2 fullbacks. Michael Elise might be an interesting one. He's a youngster coming through. I think I saw him play or come on at least as a sub last season. Interesting lineup. And look at that name in the middle there. Shone Aluko. You can still find him. I'm not sure he would have been playing central midfield, but there we go. As these games get a bit more coverage, we'll get some more maybe reliable team shapes. Wolf says, Although Wallace didn't start, he did come on later. There was a fair amount of faffing about. Interesting to see when these highly sought after players aren't playing. The rumour mill starts ticking over, doesn't it? We also did this one as a watch along. It was Brentford 1, Wycombe 1. Wycombe probably wouldn't have been a shock if they'd have won this one. They created a couple of chances, sort of quick turnovers and a mistake in one instant at the back, I think by, was it Pinnacle Good? I think they both made one to concede a chance at some point, and in fact that's what led to the goal. So first look at both of these sides this season from a championship point of view. Pinnock with the opener, brilliant goal, that one, superb header. And then, like I say, the mistake to let in Daryl Horgan on his debut. Looking at that 11, it would be very, very different when we actually kick off with Brentford. Remember, and look where Rico Henry's playing, as it took me about 25 minutes to figure out that he was swapped sides there. So expect Dalsgaard to come back in, Janssen to come in, Norgard, and then Mbuemo, Watkins and Benrahma. Well, how many of them will be there? So Wycombe, that's pretty much the first 11, isn't it? I know they've had a couple of signings come in. Ikpeza, I think is the name of the big forward they've signed as well. We'll start to see him pretty soon. But 1-1 in that one. And Wycombe gave a good account of themselves, actually. But Brentford get the win. Huddersfield 0, Rochdale 1 in Carlos Corberon's first game there as manager. Danny Ward re-debuting up top there in what SofaScorer calling a 4-3-3 there. Ramoni Critchlow-Noble, if you saw the clip of him back passing to Ben Hamer and Ben Hamer in that friendly miss kicking it there. So that's what it looks like Corberon is going to go with. We all expected, being he's a Bielsa disciple, for it to be a 4-1-4-1. Maybe it will turn out for that to be the case, and Bakuna and Karoma will be tucked back and Jonathan Hogg will be sitting. Who knows? They're never exactly the same, these disciples of managers, are they? O'Connell with the only goal in this one to send Rochdale through. So Huddersfield managing to get themselves out of the competition, which a lot of people were kind of working towards, weren't they? Let's just throw one of those up. Right. And these games now, they were the previous week, but we'll deal with them. I know you know the results and the teams, but if Blackburn beat Doncaster 3-2, Holtby ranking Costello, and Armstrong with the goals there. Armstrong picking up where he left off last season. Not really very much in the way of big new names coming in there for Rovers, but they get the win and they go through. Similarly, so did Preston. They beat Mansfield 4-0. Barkhuizen, Maguire, Bauer, Harrop. Interesting there. Look, Alan Brown is still playing right back. I thought that was just for an injury crisis last season, but a very good number 10, Alan Brown. And he's there playing right back in pre-season. Look at that, 17 shots Preston had. Looked like a fairly handy victory. Tom Bayliss actually getting a game. Didn't work out for him last season. I think a mixture of injury and not taking chances. Let's see if Alex Neil's a bit more steady with his team selection this season and can really build a winning team for them to move from the middle further towards the playoffs. Stoke went through 5-4 on Pens after a 0-0 draw. Strong looking team there. James Chester back permanently now, isn't he? He's in the team, but I guess he was there already. And Benik Afobe, they're going to be trying to get him fitter and fitter as they go. 0-0 in that one. Clean sheet, win, run out. Can't say fairer than that, can you? Stoke go through. And finally, Coventry won at MK Dons, although MK Dons had a lot of possession. Coventry record 16 shots there. Gustavo Hamer, I think he cost a bit actually in central midfield. First we've seen as him. Shipley and Godden, standout players last season. Remember, as I said, McCallum off to Norwich there. They've brought Ben Sheaf in as well, haven't they, Cov? So expect him to come in there. Bournemouth and Watford, I'm guessing because they were the two higher ranked relegated teams, did not play in this one. So that is my look at the Carabao Cup games. Let's have a look. Get your questions in. We will do some Q&A now for a few minutes, just on the end of this thing. Let's have a look here. If Leonard makes an overlapping fullback, I'll eat my hat. Wolf, did he actually play at wing back? Have they got that right? Mally says, I'd happily forfeit the cups if it meant survival. Yeah, I think most people, if their objective was survival, would happily get out of the cups there. Is Shone Aluko a thing? Well, there we go. Rodrigo's first start will be against Hull. If he doesn't get a hat-trick, I want our money back. There we go. Leeds playing Hull in the next round. Paunovic was quarantined. Oh, interesting. Did he still pick the team, Alistair? I wonder. Bye-bye Watkins and Ben Rama, says Matthew. We'll see. We'll see indeed. Odds on Billy Sharp scoring against Leeds. What, for Derby? I never bet against Billy Sharp. There you go. Let's hope you're right. It's been first choice in pre-season, but mainly due to injuries, but he is so fit. Thoughts on Glenn Murray at Watford? Glenn Murray's a goal machine in the Championship, isn't he? But he is, however, 36 now, so maybe he's going to be an impact sub. Very much in the mode of Charlie Austin at West Brom last season. Callum says he doesn't like Billy Sharp because he's been amazing everywhere else other than Leeds. There we go. Same with Neil Warner. Yeah, very true. Very true indeed. Sharp, one of those annoying players who you always fancy getting but goes as well. Same happened with Ipswich indeed. I can't read that because of the curse word, but I take your point. Again, like Warnock as a manager, he would have fitted very well. Mad old git that he is. Thoughts on Stoke this season? I think Stoke should be challenging for playoffs this season. Warnock has improved every team apart from Leeds. Yeah, just bizarre that. You think it'd be the perfect match, wouldn't it? But there you go. Although by all accounts, he's actually very, very reasonable. Yeah, I think he plays into the act sometimes. Can Kachunga get the Owls some much needed goals? Not if he's played the way Huddersfield have played him, kind of wide for a lot of the time. But Gary Monk and James Beattie do get the best out of their strikers, don't they? Norwich lads looked really impressive in the under-21s, especially Aarons. Yeah, Aarons is a great player, isn't he? Really, really, really good modern fullback, Max Aarons. Like it a lot. Annie, we asked about Rovers Ipswich. I was with my Rovers friend during Ipswich Rovers, and I just kept laughing as every goal went in. Hey, all you can do is laugh when you're losing 3-0 to Ipswich, isn't it? Cooper to get injured tonight and Gvardiol to step in. My Mystic Meg impression. Interesting. Predictions here. How will Bogle and Lowe do at Sheffield United? I doubt Lowe will get in the team, to be honest, if Ender Stevens is there. Bogle is a different matter. He's an excellent, excellent player who you'd think would fit in beautifully as a Chris Wilder right wing back. Opinions on Lowe and Bogle leaving for 15 million. Ewan, I think the price is probably, if we're assuming it's 12 or 13 million for Bogle and 2 or 3 million for Lowe, then that makes some sense given Jamal Lewis and Matt Cash with similar amounts and all very good fullbacks. Shame for Derby, but we said they need to retool, they need to sell. They don't have parachute money. They've got other good youngsters coming in. We'll see what they do in terms of right back. Perhaps you can help me out, Ewan. Let me know what you think they're going to do in terms of right full back. And I think it'll be a good deal. But I don't see Lowe particularly playing there. Ben, it's time to end the goatee, and it sucks. It's not a goatee. It's literally just how I like this idea that I shave in a goat. It's just how it grows. And Matthew, it's 2020. We shouldn't be commenting on people's appearances in a cruel way, unless I can comment back on yours in a cruel way. But I wouldn't do that. But no, it's not a goatee. It's just the way it grows. You can see little spare extra bits. There we go. Warnock, legend at QPR, wasn't he? Just legend most places he's been. Do you think Leeds can beat Hull and West Ham or that other team who I forgot? Sorry. Of course they can. Yeah, absolutely. Thoughts on Coventry's business? Good. Yeah, I think they might surprise a few. And Tyler Walker might be a really, really good signing. Ryan says, opposite from that fan that said forego the cups to stay up. I say forego the cups to be promoted as a Blackpool fan. Yeah, there you go, exactly. Maybe Ipswich. To be honest, Bogle and Lowe have been bought as backup. They won't be first team for a while. Yeah, believe me, though, I've seen lots of Bogle and I've seen lots of Baldock and not that much in it, I would say, although Baldock obviously knows the deal. Matthew, you don't have to apologise. Only joking, my friend, only joking. Have you heard of the young lad, Cry Somerville? He's like Raheem Sterling on speed. All I can think of is Jimmy Somerville. Oh, baby, that guy. Daniel Quinn. I know Norwich had 16 players missing, but it's a big result for Luton. Now against Reading, then a potential tie against Man United. Lovely stuff. Yeah, good start for Luton. It's one of those where it's a bit of a no-lose for Luton in that one, because if you lose to Norwich, they're they always boss the Championship. They've got parachute money. They've got a brilliant squad, haven't they? So if you lose, you say that. And if you win, it's, we've beaten a side with a really good squad. So, great stuff. Chris Brunt has signed for Bristol City. Has he really? How old is Chris Brunt? There we go. How much does StreamYard cost to record? If you go on their website, English Football Show, it will tell you. They've got 3 different price brackets there. Ewan says, thank you. We've got another right back called, I've heard about this, Ebelisé. It's apparently quite good. And Buchanan will play left back. Then we can spend the money on wingers as well. Nice, cool. So it's all sorted there. It was that result against us that done you love. It's any number of results that done Ipswich, believe me. Can I see Leon Clark going to Fleetwood, joining up with Duffy, Coots and Evans? Yes. Go and ask Cod's Vlogs about that. He would know better than me. But Fleetwood can definitely pay the wages with Andy Pilley there, can't he? What do you think Leeds will do this season in Cups and League in the EFL Trophy? I don't think Leeds will care about the Cups, and I think they should be somewhere between 12th and 16th. Reading, flip a coin. Don't know. Could go well. Could go badly. New manager. All sorts of stuff going on. Bright Asai Samuel got a shirt number at QPR, but future still uncertain. You would think it'd be slightly more certain now that Eze's gone, but we will see. Is that a proper confirmation on Chris Brunt then, Anir? As a Norwich fan, I was very impressed with how Luton set themselves up. I hope you guys stay up this season. Nice one. Stan, any Norwich fans in the house that know much about Shack Poke? I don't know what that means. Alex. Oh, wonderful to see you, Alex. Go and follow Alex, great YouTuber. He says, hope you well. Keep smashing it. Ipswich have got to go up. See you soon. But thank you very, very much, Alex. And go and give Alex a sub. Always get the terms wrong, don't they? Nice mutual respect here between Luton and Norwich. Leon Clark at Wigan. Yes. Oh, God, Katie. Do you remember the game between Ipswich and Wigan where Leon Clark, I'm not joking, literally missed 4 one-on-ones? Unbelievable scenes. Ben, it's going to be hard to predict the Championship till the window closes. Isn't it just, Mike? I'm going to have a go on Wednesday. It says on my schedule, 1 to 24 and the dentist I've got on Wednesday. I don't know which one is going to be worse. Morsey, mate. Where's Morsey going to go, Katie? Let me know. Brunt is 35 or nearest offer. There we go. Ben, Palace are likely to sign Conor Gallagher. What can I tell you about him? Conor Gallagher's excellent. He's at Chelsea, played number 10 for Charlton and Swansea last season. Really nice player. Is he ready to start in the Premier League? Possibly. Fraser's been confirmed by Newcastle today. Yes, he has. We had Ryan Fraser on loan at Ipswich in the 15-16 season. He was brilliant then. Absolutely brilliant. What do you think Leeds will do? And if we don't win, not saying we will. I don't get it. If Reading lose Mark McNulty, then I'd say going down. And I think Wigan will do a Bolton and go for a reset. It may happen. Right, let me see if I can make sense of all. So he says, what do you think Leeds will do? And if we don't win, not saying we will, who will? In what? In the league or in the cup? We'll figure it out. Honestly believe Luton need a backup defensive midfielder for Ray and a third striker. We need a proven Championship striker. Daniel, is there not an argument now that James Collins is already a proven Championship striker? He'll get you 10 goals, won't he? Proven Championship strikers now, especially if they're English, tend to cost you about 5 million quid, don't they? So Leon Clark at Wigan equals donkey. Brutal. Snowpork says, I've never had a Carabao energy drink. Is it good? Neither have I, actually. I tend to get a bit of a grumpy Benjamin Bloom on energy drinks, so I don't do it. I do coffee energy drinks. That's as good as it gets. Clark would be good in the league, but we do have Garner. Yeah, Garner, who is nailed on to score at Ipswich next Sunday. You should do a prediction video after the transfer window closes. That's a good idea, Ewan, actually, isn't it? A sensible one where I can't use the excuse that the window hasn't closed. I'll always love Clark for the 2 goals at Hillsborough and the 4 against Hull. I think that's called Bouncing Day Massacre, isn't it? Eze and Zaha together. Yeah, that should be fun, shouldn't it? Who's going to give the other the ball, though? That's the thing. Morsey off to Borough or... Morsey with Warnock as manager would be perfect, wouldn't it? He'll literally get 20 yellow cards. Everybody needs a proven striker, don't they? Just except Leeds last season. If most people think Bamford was unproven, but proven at doing his job. And Cardiff under Warnock in 17-18 went up without a particularly prolific striker. Indeed. Daniel, let us know about Norrington Davis, how he did. The GOAT, Neil Warnock, I can't say that word or I'll get demonetized, but it could happen. Daniel says, we do have a good record of bringing up relatively unknown strikers like Isaac Vassell and Andre Cray. Actually, I wonder if Isaac Vassell, is he still hurt? Because he had a bad injury at the start of the season at Cardiff last year. I wonder if he could possibly go back. If Fox is back on a short-term like rumoured, that would be brilliant. Yeah, need familiar bodies in the door. Norrington Davis looked excellent against Norwich. Looking forward to that. What do you think will happen in the EFL Trophy, the one where League One and Class A? What do you think Leeds will do, and who do you think will win it, Ben? No bias. Well, it won't be Ipswich if you're looking for me to be biased that way. Hard one to call. I think Leeds will just... I don't think the under-23 teams particularly care too much about it. It will be a well-performing League One team will likely win it. Colm, I quite like the look of Nottingham Forest this season. Just need the belief. Yeah, and I like their recruitment as well. Just in your sorry, can't say it, v Mansfield review, and they have 2 ex-Blackpool players, turncoats. You're going to have to say it. Bid for the club today rejected. Oh dear. Did you see as well what Kieran Maguire tweeted about Wigan? What the administrators are charging per hour? It worked out at like £380 an hour they charge. Insanity. Did well for us in the pre-season. He's been coming through for a couple of years now. This is Norrington Davis, I think. Leeds or Leicester for Rodrigo de Paul. 2 good managers there to go and play for. I'll plead the fifth on that one. Mike says, I had my championship predictions sorted, then watching Ben HD's predictions. Oh, he's done his today as well. And had started rethinking again. He made some good points. He is my second favourite YouTuber. Well, he's excellent. You can say we're joint first, can't you? Katie says, on Wigan, the game against Fleetwood positively surprised me. Yeah, it did surprise me, actually, as well. I was expecting sort of a 2-0 or a 3-1 or something like that. But in front a couple of times. Ben, you're the GOAT of championship YouTubers. Thank you. Yeah, I've heard about this, Matthew. Bristol City and Chris Brunt. Look, he's obviously going to be a really good guy to have around with experience, can mentor younger players. Still probably got a banging left foot for set plays. You wouldn't imagine he's going to be there to play that many minutes. Maybe they've done a deal where he goes in as a coach or something. I don't know. I'll have to read up. Yeah, charging for email. Yeah, ridiculous. Charge to sharpen the pencil or whatever. Josh, how do you think Wednesday will do this season? Personally, need 2 new strikers if Wrexham want to score a goal. I think the striker thing is an issue, Josh. Obviously, minus 12 points is a bigger issue. So we're looking at 58 to 60 points for Wednesday to even stay up. And if the tide is high, but then like it was last season, then it could be a very tricky league for Sheffield Wednesday. Who will win the top 4 English leagues? Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? A good percentage of YouTubers I look in follow clubs on their way out of the 3rd division. No names, no pack drill. Where am I going? Katie says she'll take 20th. I bet you would. I think it's a close game against Barnsley. Not sure how it'll go. Is that the first one, Daniel, for Luton? Dean Holden will be sacked first this season. Worst case doomsday scenario, but yeah, you'd think he'd be under pressure straight away, given how annoyed the Bristol City fans were with how that appointment played out. Who is the most irritating player you've watched in person? What do you mean irritating, Plucky? As in irritating, like with niggly fouls and being naughty, or irritating as in could have been really, really good. But obviously mass irritation was David Nugent, who would without fail, he could not even touch the ball and still score against Ipswich every time. So probably him. And then from a different point of view, Finidi George at Ipswich played one of the best games I've ever seen anyone play. And I thought he's going to win the Ballon d'Or and we're going to finish third in the Premier League or something. And then he was absolutely terrible after that. So Finidi George, because could have been so good. Preston have Tom Barkhausen and Brad Potts. Preston, okay. 2x Blackpool. I get you, Ryan. I get you. I didn't realise Barkhausen was ex-Blackpool. There we go. Will we be seeing Peterborough in the Championship next season? Well, we seem to say that every season, Stan, don't we? And they don't quite make it, do they? So keep questions coming. You can support via Super Chat, Patreon, Amazon Shopfront. Now, if you're in the stream, please hit like on the video and ask a question. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, get on with it. Please do it. We are so close to 11,900. We're doing kind of slow day today with subscribers. We're teetering there. I thought we would have made it by now. So please subscribe if you have not already. Poor old Holden. I think many of us are backing him for the job. And do you blame us, Wolf? Do you blame us? He's an unknown quantity, and it did seem to be a little bit of a dead man walking type appointment straight off the bat, didn't it? So we need a new song. I'd love to do a new song. We'll do a new song at some point. When we see how the big stories of the league are panning out. Anir says Holden won't be sacked, thinks that they'll do well. And they've certainly got a good first team when you look. But this is the issue. I look for all of those Championship first teams, and the upside's great for most of them, I think, if they can get it right. But only 2 teams can finish in the top 2. Only 4 teams can finish in the playoffs. Someone's got to lose, haven't they? And we will see whether that comes down to quality of player or quality of manager, or a little bit of both. Leicester can offer European football, talking about Rodrigo de Paul, I think, hence Mali's concerns. How will Barnsley do? I think Barnsley will jump up a few places. I think they'll go to the 3rd quartile, maybe lower mid-table, I think, possibly. It could be higher, though. First sack will be Watford manager. Surprised they haven't had 4 managers yet. There we go. Remember last time they got promoted from the Championship, they did have 4 managers. The last one was Jukanovic, and up they went. Trevor Hockey was deeply annoying back in the day. Tell us more about Trevor Hockey, Wolf. Not one I'm familiar with, my friend. I think Luar is a great player. I went to see the home game against Birmingham, drawing fouls left, right, and centre. Yeah, I think he's just quite inconsistent, isn't he? I remember him. We had a young fullback called Josh Emmanuel who went on loan to Rotherham and Bolton. He's just gone to Hull. Luar tore him an absolute new one for Brighton, but just couldn't put it together regularly, could he? Sam Morsey went 15 games without a booking last season. Oh, to stop himself getting. That is a true S-house, isn't it? Gets loads of bookings, and then when he wants to, can just stop. So he's doing it on purpose. And here for Bristol City will take mid-table, but hopefully playoffs. I bet you would, hey? I also think Cornick would be an excellent striker who works on his composure and his finishing. I like Cornick, and I was at a Luton game last season against Bristol City, and Cornick went through one-on-one, was cool as a cucumber. So great facial hair. Is that Trevor Hockey? What is it, a big, massive beard, I hope? Black and gold. Oh, we're going to be wearing black and gold. I haven't seen that one, Katie. I'll have a look. Are you going to refresh the dearly departed after each season? Asked Plucky. We'll have a look. We'll have a look indeed, because we don't want it to grow to, an entire 6 or 7 teams. I would like to think, Plucky, that there'll be enough ups and downs, some dearly departed teams returning and some going back up, that it should set a nice number with 5 this season. And I am very, very much looking forward. The dearly departed preview will be on Friday for the first of the Premier League games. Remember, dearly departed, we're looking at Leeds, Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield United and Aston Villa, our dearly departed. Gazza, I look forward to iFollowing cover the next next 2 rounds at £10 a pop. I think I sensed some sarcasm from Gazza. Get your funny iFollow tales in. It's not been good, has it? Do you agree footballers shouldn't be allowed to wear anything other than black boots unless you are Messi, Brady, or hello? Obviously, I'm an inclusive kind of guy and believe that people should have the freedom to choose whatever colour boots they like. But I kind of like that rule just because it includes Brian Deane, who was a great player, wasn't he, for Sheffield United. Bournemouth for providing a headache. I can't work out how they will do this season. You're not the only one, Mike. You are not the only one. EFL appealed Derby, have they? I thought they might. What's your source for that, Lewis? Has that been announced? I hope Barnsley get playoffs. They will be the type of player to me. Might be a tricky one. Ben, have you heard the whole Czech team are quarantined? Had to pick another squad to play Scotland. Will it happen in the league? Are they really? Oh, I hope it doesn't happen in the league. But I don't know. It's a hard one because if people quarantine from breaking rules, then they probably should have to pick a squad. But if it, I don't know. Are you punishing people for not following COVID guidelines, or it's going to be interesting, isn't it? A niggly player. This is Trevor Hockey, isn't it? One of our fullbacks picked him up with one hand and wagged a finger in his face. Lovely stuff. Michael says the Bees are going to do it this season, replace Fulham in the Premier League. Then it'll be back to normal service of Bees up, Fulham down. It's going to be very interesting. The transfer window really is going to shape Brentford's season, isn't it? They don't want a big offer for a player late in the transfer window. If you're going to sell Benrahma, Watkins, Henry, whoever, then do it now. Get it done. Get the money in, and let's hope it doesn't go too late and derails everything. Luar, drawing fouls. What, like Tom Daly? Oh, let's not get into that again. Trevor Hockey had a velvet car. No, he didn't. A velvet car? Wow. Trevor Hockey was hard as a diamond. It's turning into the Trevor Hockey stream, this, isn't it? Watford is one of those large luggage belts at the airport. Team's manager appoints sack a luggage belt. Very, very nice. Adil Tarab was one frustrating one. But just for that one season under Warnock, sensational. It would be nice if Brentford finally made it, to be fair. Yeah, it'd be good. My favourite QPR player, oh, crikey. Tarab would be one. Probably Les Ferdinand from the early Premier League years, I would say. If Sam Morsey goes, I will miss him. I suppose you're used to players you like getting picked off at the moment, Katie. Jamie asked, did I see Domingos Quinhas goal against Spurs? Is this for Watford? Did Watford play Spurs in a friendly the other day? No, I didn't. So, yeah, if someone can DM that to me or link me on Twitter. Villa v Burton pick for TV. I think someone predicted that in the stream the other day, didn't they? What's iFollow, says Ewan. I think you're very lucky, Ewan, because you've got Rams TV at Derby, haven't you? iFollow is the club's service for streaming stuff. DM. Oh, yeah, please do, Kate. That'd be great. Announced now, says Lewis, about this appeal. We'll have a look at that. We need another quality centre back, says Anir, and we need to find a solution with strikers, but Naki with Martin as much as interesting over Jeju. Interesting. And I will always say, if you support a team, you probably know more about it than I do. I'm trying to cover all 24. Boring. They have an agenda against Mel Morris and Derby. Allegedly. I'm not allowed to say that on here, am I? Any money on Czech reserves to win? I won't get involved in that. Only the two of the Czech team have played before. Maybe that mightn't be a good thing. Mick McCarthy, effect on Ireland, drew to Bulgaria and lost the finish. Classic Mick. Leaves a steaming mess after he's gone, doesn't he? There we go. Just a quick fact about Luton. In their back-to-back promotions to the Championship, they were the second highest scorers in the top 4 English leagues. Yeah, very attacking, aren't they? Thoughts on Ipswich versus Fulham? We'll see what team Fulham put out. Likely to be a reserve team, so we might not get Mitrovic against James Wilson. But yeah, you would think that Fulham would win that even with their reserves. But it'd be nice to have a Premier League team down at Portman Road. We've had a few of the under-23 teams in the EFL trophy, so That's been fun. Oh, Joe Gelhardt will go for a fortune in a couple of years. So technically gifted. Gelhardt obviously out from Wigan into Leeds. I call that the Adam Webster problem, where Ipswich sell Adam Webster to Bristol City for £3 million. Literally 1 year later, one damn year, £24 million or something, wasn't it? Do I think Hull will go up? Asked Alfie. I think they've got a pretty good chance, actually. I've been surprised, actually. Their recruitment's been pretty strong. So Bristol City have announced Chris Brunt. Yes, we have heard about this. John, is there any coaching deal in that as well? Favourite ever Reading player? Oh, think. Reading used to have a goalkeeper called Nicky Hammond, who I think ended up being their director of football, who always used to play terribly against Ipswich, who would guarantee a win. Favourite Reading player? Jimmy Quinn, maybe, from back in the day, the forward. He was a classic, wasn't he? What do I think of Leeds youth signings? Yeah, good. It's just tricky with Bielsa being your manager. You know that they're going to have to work so hard to get with his training and his instructions and everything to get in the team. But Jack Clark got in there, didn't he? So, and hopefully we see Jamie Shackleton in there as well. Chris Brunt. It's the Chris Brunt show. Sorry, people. Time for homemade shepherd's pie and red wine. Did you cook some red wine into the shepherd's pie as well? Lovely stuff. Sean, wonderful. Sean, nice to see you, sir. Patreon there, Sean, Patreon subscriber. You too could be as well. Patreon.com/BenjaminBlue. Best QPR player I've ever seen was Rodney Marsh, when he could be bothered to start. He was a great player, wasn't he? Before my time, I'm afraid, but would love to see him. Nick says, Lockyer looks decent. Yeah, he's a good player, Nick. 2 clean sheets for Wales, good replacement for Carter Vickers. Yes, and we said Carter Vickers is just going to be too expensive from that Spurs contract, isn't it? So, David Barnsley, yeah, he was good. Actually, Roy Wegley as well. I love Roy Wegley for QPR. Ewan says they've appealed the amortization policy, but not the state of why have they done that? It was very, very clear, the explanation for both not guilty verdicts, wasn't it? So I don't get it. I mean, maybe they need to make their laws clearer if they're going to go around appealing every infraction. But there we go. A postponement. Oh God, that wouldn't be good, would it? Ipswich, Wigan. I assume you mean. I assume you mean because Wigan can't provide a team. Alistair's asking me best team to get promoted to the Premier League. Now, I know that he's a Reading fan and he wants me to say Reading 106 points. So on paper, yes. But I did love the Sunderland Peter Reid team. They were very direct, but with Quinn and Phillips up front and Alan Johnston on one wing and Nicky Summerby on the other, Kevin Ball, Michael Gray, Chris Macon. I've nearly named the whole team. Jeju overrated. Well, you may not like JG. Everyone knows my issues with the word overrated. Don't worry about what anyone else thinks of him. Just have your opinion on him. Bowles was also a contender. Yeah, great QPR player. Dawes, surely. You have to smarten me up, Chris. I can't compete with your knowledge that, most of the time, to be honest, mate. But there we go. Excited for the Harrogate game. Who did Harrogate get, all things Leeds? Tell me. Barnsley signed ex-Chelsea and Liverpool player Isaac Christie Davis. Interesting. Has that gone through today, Skull? We'll have a look at that. Gaz has got some word in here. The EFL appeal is specific to the second charge. Oh, yeah, amortization. I'm not sure how they're going to argue that. I'm sure you've all, like me, been a nerd and read the report and seemed like the explanation was fine. So the Allen versus Mark Falco, classic Mark Falco. You seem to be playing at Wembley at the start of every season. I watch Match of the 80s and see that. There we go. The Brady brothers, the Brady bunch. EFL are just wasting their money again. Hopefully, but that's a pull-in S-Hauser of you, and hopefully Borough will pay for it. Did you watch the Betfred Championship and League One produced with Scott Minto? I did not, but that's very interesting that Scott Minto's gone over there because there's a certain groundswell that want Mr. Stelling, Letitia et al. To go and sign up with some betting company and go straight down YouTube. I'm sure they'll be offered more money than God to do it, won't they? Evandro to sign for Forest from Hull. Is that happening? We've heard that rumour, haven't we? Wow, I can't keep up. Keep them coming. A Wednesday mate of mine told me they had one of the worst goal-scoring records at home, but one of the best away from home in Europe. That can't be true, can it? I don't know. I'd have to look into the stats. Sound peculiar if it did. Normally, goal scoring is fairly consistent. I know we get weird home and away win-loss records, don't we? I can understand that more than goal scoring. Thoughts on Luton this season? Yeah, should improve. I expect them to go up a few places. We don't mention Clive Allen down my way. What was that season where Clive Allen scored? He scored like nearly 50 goals or something for Spurs, didn't he? 85, I think. I know you've been to a few Luton games. Just want to ask, who's your favourite Luton player? I have to say Steve Howard. For selfish reasons, my favourite Luton player probably Kelvin Davis, because he came to Ipswich later on and he was absolutely superb for us. Need some more strikers. Another signing. Ote sadly is not good enough. I think another forward will go in at QPR. If you think about it, QPR had Hugill and Wells on loan last season. They've obviously replaced Hugill kind of with Dykes, but they need maybe a bit of a more mobile striker. To be fair, that's probably unfair on Dykes because I've never seen him play, but I assume that he'll want a quick option and a more bulky option. Player coach like Ashley Williams. We're talking Chris Brunt. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Mick was commentating on the games as well. Lovely, Mick. QPR produced a lot of good players. Dave Seaman, what a player. Raheem Sterling as well. Favourite ever Barnsley player? Probably Neil Redfern. I always remember Neil Redfern when Barnsley got in the Premier League. Rodney Marsh by a mile. There we go. It came out that Luton got outpriced for Carter Vickers. Yeah. I tell you what, there'll be a long queue because he'll probably... in January, I'd imagine Carter Vickers will, likely be more able to get paid off by Spurs and get a deal. And effectively then, if you think about it, if you're earning X amount and you can get a payoff and then another wage while you get your payoff, you can probably match or beat what you were earning anyway. But you're not going to be able to do that a year ahead of time. But if I'm Carter Vickers' agent, that's what I'm looking for. So maybe in January they'll be able to do a deal for Carter Vickers. But there will be a queue in the Championship. Good player. Thoughts on Mawson to Bristol City? Good move for both parties. It didn't work really last season. I think it'd be good for Bristol City, and if we can get some kind of Callas, Baker, Mawson back three, that could be really good for Bristol City, couldn't it? Hugill, good player, close to signing for Wigan. What could have been? Yeah, absolutely. What could have been? Ronnie Glavin. We're talking old school here, aren't we? We almost signed Rodney Marsh for about £10,000 before QPR. Not that I was bitter. There we go. Andrew points out what I was just saying there. Mawson and Callas, good partnership. Should be at Championship level. That's very, very good. The only issue is with someone like Mawson is, are they burnt by what happened last season? Because I remember when he was at, where was he? Barnsley. He started that season. He was really good, really stood out under Heckingbottom's Barnsley there. Hugill goal machine kept us up last season. Yeah, he did have a great season, didn't he? Best players I've seen: Ferdinand, Wilkins, Simon Barker. Great. Danny Dichio. Do you remember that goal Danny Dichio scored? Was it away at Wolves? This huge, great 6'5" guy chesting it down and smashing a ridiculous volley in. Awesome stuff. Okay, so we'll have a look at that on the next transfer update video. And someone's smartening me up. Harrogate, West Brom. Okay, that'll be on Sky. We'll give that one a look. Sean says, what the hell is amortization? Amortization is how you value your players as an asset. So, for example, if there's a car sat on the forecourt and it's worth 10 grand, I go and pay 10 grand for it. The value of the car then depreciates immediately by a couple of grand, doesn't it? But if I'm pushing it a little bit, I make my amortized value of this a little bit higher, and then you can spread it across years and map the depreciation of players, of assets. Their value can rise and their value can fall, obviously. And Derby were doing some pretty clever, innovative stuff that wasn't against the rules. We've referenced the players reaching the final year and values exponentially dropping. All very, very clever stuff. I actually think they should probably be praised for the way they were doing it, because it's been a way of showing other clubs how they can, work their asset base. So, I'm finding it strange that they're being sort of punished for it. But there we go. Right, guys, thank you so much. I am going to finish the stream right there and now, because we have done an hour. If you want to shout out, bung your comment in, and we'll try and do a couple of shout outs before the end. Load of plugs, you know what they are, don't you? Super chat. Don't bother with that now. Well, can't bother with that. It'd be nice. Patreon, Amazon Shopfront. Please subscribe, like, comment, etc., etc. And for the first time this season, this show is brought to you via fan sponsorship. Russ Peake, a fan and now a friend, despite Ben's terrible taste in football. The pure irony that my friend Russ, as you can see gloriously in his Norwich City shirt there, is helping the channel so much. But you can be a fan sponsor for a series. So Russ is the sponsor for all of these review shows this season. You too can do the same if you would like to. Just give me a shout. However, let's do some shout outs. Alistair, Matthew, Anir, McCamey, Mike, Katie. Good luck on Sunday. I'll speak to you before Sunday, Katie, no doubt. Mally, nice one. Mally, as we always say, responsible for this lovely BB mug there. Maybe we should do them. QPR Forever, Elizabeth, Jez, Ewan, Elliot. Shout out to the king. There we go. Right, thank you guys so much for watching. And let's keep doing this. Cheers, Ben. I must read that out because I made a mistake there. Baker is out until Christmas. There you go. So you're not going to get back through with these guys in. Shout out to Charles and to Lee. And in unbelievable scenes, I've got a little outro thing. Have I? No, I don't think I have. I should have put it on. Didn't upload it. There you go. Professional it is. And that is what I'm not. There we go. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Shout out to Hip. Later in the week, I'm probably going to be working on Ipswich Blue Monday stuff tomorrow night. But the 1 to 24 will be out on Wednesday, by God. Probably do a transfer update video tomorrow. Fantasy League Thursday. Preview show Thursday night. That'll be a live stream. Dilly Departed Friday, and we'll be watch along Watford Borough and then Birmingham Brentford. Likely this season we will be able to do, and I'll put a poll up on this, we'll be able to do the Championship review. Doesn't look like they're going for Sunday lunchtime games. So you let me know when you want to see it. I'm thinking we can get there ahead of Quest and maybe do it 8 o'clock on Saturday night. I'll put a poll up and you guys can let me know when you actually want to see it. Right. As Hip says, leave a thumbs up and I will see you later in the week, no doubt. Thanks for watching. Over and out.